One of the biggest struggles anyone will go through in this lifetime is coping with loneliness. Let's not get it wrong though, because you can feel lonely in a group. It really is where your community is, having like-minded people and feeling part of something, feeling connected to something more than just ourselves. You know, it's demoralizing as hell when you truly feel alone. And I think people that maybe laugh it off, maybe they don't care, maybe they've just got no understanding or comprehension of it because they haven't actually had that moment of alone yet, or they haven't recognized that maybe those around them don't have their best interests at heart. So they don't realize they are actually alone. So there's this thing where you can put the wool over your eyes as well. You can pretend or just accept mediocrity. But when you truly feel alone, there's nothing. I don't think there's a worse feeling. I think we can struggle with so many things in life. You can struggle. You can cope with some loss, poverty, just things failing, and you can learn and grow again, and things like that. When it comes to your finances, for instance, there's always this potential. There's always a potential to earn something, whether it's a win, whether it's something you're growing, and an opportunity comes along. So your finances don't always stay the same. There's always a chance that things could turn around at any moment. So I think people dwell too much on the finances, to be honest. I think it's always like this big, heavy focus towards it, when really life has more significance than that. Because if you was to project yourself forward in life and you don't have community yet, so maybe you come into an enormous amount of wealth that in the right circumstances would elevate your life and make you so happy, and you have incredible experiences. Now imagine having that wealth when you are truly alone. You don't trust anyone. Everybody you've come into your life has just been toxic. They've been abusive. They've not invested in you. So there's reasons for being alone. It's not always a case of you're not good enough. Sometimes it's the other people are not good enough, and unfortunately you haven't met your community yet. But imagine coming into such wealth that should be life changing and would be the envy of many people. But your life isn't where you want it to be, and it's that you won't truly enjoy it, so it controls you. And I think I think a lot of time that's why some people do turn to substance abuse and things, because they're trying to find some sort of like semblance of happiness, just something to remove the pain, and because loneliness is just that debilitating. And a lot of time it just comes from misunderstanding, people not understanding you. But I think that in itself, I think, just shows the disparity between, I think poverty mindset and the loneliness, because you can have money and still feel really, really lost, because on its own, it's not enough, is it? On its own, it's not enough. It will in pockets. The thing is, you can be lonely for a short periods. I've been on my healing journey for like 8 years. It's been a freaking nightmare, in all honesty. There's been tough moments where it's literally brought me to my knees. There's been other times when it's been enlightening and it's been great for my healing journey, and learn more about myself and more about other people. So then you do set boundaries. So it's great in that sense. But the trouble is, you start eradicating most people are just not good enough for the journey. It's just the way it is. You're just looking at people and going, that one's flawed. This one's got an issue. This one doesn't, selfish. There's always little traits. And it becomes really, really demoralizing when you just realize you don't have much of a community. Um, and maybe because the standards just get set that high. But again, that gets demoralizing, because why can't other people be like in the sense of, when you're looking for community, you're looking for like-minded people. So the sense is, why can there not be more people like us? Like in my instance, why can't there be more people like me? Why is it my personality, my essence, my core being? Why is it so rare? Like in my life, it's rare because I haven't met many others, or any. I don't know. And again, you could say not put yourself on a pedestal, but we should be putting ourselves on a pedestal to an extent, because we do have to be the main character of our lives. There's no point in us sort of worshipping and falling at our knees to other people. You have to be the main character, and then you have to build your life around you. Of course, it's support other people. It's not to say that, no one else matters. It's not a case of that at all. But you do have to be the main focal point. And then after that, you're trying to build a life with other people, and collaborate and respect each other. But the idea of just being alone forever, that's just like mind numbing, that's not good at all. I did a video yesterday and I was saying, I don't want to be a monk. I don't want to, everything in my path is leading me to that epiphany. And I'm like, this is outrageous. I've been single for 8 years. I've been alone for 8 years. I'm healing a lot. I'm on a spiritual journey. all signs are leading towards being a monk. And a teacher back in when I was younger actually made a joke because I didn't pay attention to religious education, yet I got a B without trying. And she was actually shocked. We didn't get along, and she said, "You could be a monk." No, 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 off that off. Like I don't think so. And it's like looking at my life, this is becoming ridiculous. And I resent it a lot. Like I don't want to be alone. Like, that's ridiculous. It's not the path I'm trying to build, but the standards get set that high that you end up alone, like, inevitably. And all I can say in that circumstance, if everyone ever finds themselves in that situation, it's like, don't be weak, unless you can't handle it. I can't tell people what to do, but in my instance, I won't be weak. I won't be fooled. And I won't go back just because I want attention or anything like that. It's not going to happen. So I don't fall back into old patterns. I won't do it. I'll always keep pushing forward, even if it gets uncomfortable. So from my point of view, okay, I feel alone. It's demoralizing. I want to, I want a holiday. I want to go on holiday. I want to go with like-minded people. I just want to have a good experience. I want to enjoy life. But it's like, oh, this is just misery. When you start thinking of it like that, and then think of a load of money coming, it's like that money isn't going to make me happy. It ease pressure in other areas of your life, of course, but in terms of like that alone won't make me happy. No way. But the thing about life is, I speak about it in my books. Like for instance, you can, unless you fulfill most areas, you'll always feel you're lacking something. So not everybody, of course, not everybody has ambition. Um, but you've got love, you've got family around you, you've got jobs, career, you've got money, you've got adventures of traveling, you've got hobbies and interests, you've got goals. There's all these different things. And maybe you tick the family boxes and you tick, and you got love, but then maybe you're missing a lot of ambition in your life and a lot about you, to explore you and feel successful in different areas, independent of all of that. So that boxes are not ticked. So there's a frustration. Or you may be a very career-minded person, you've got money, but you don't have love and family around you, and you feel lonely in that sense. So I think, in all honesty, I don't think most people have all of them ticked. So the only thing I can say, and I do this with myself, is I don't naturally think of the boxes being ticked. I just innately know what I need to do. You can't force love, and you can't force community. It's just unless you're prepared to, I think, compromise too much. You could literally just give up all your values and just try to find people and fit in. I've never been like that. It won't happen. I would rather torment my mind with the loneliness and fumble my way through it, because you will fumble your way at times. It's just sometimes it doesn't make sense and you get resentful. It's like, this isn't fair. You'll throw a hissy fit. um, you get resentful. You'll stop being productive. This happens. This happens to me. But inevitably, like I said, you can't force love. You can't force companion like groups and being part of a community. That'll happen when it's supposed to happen. That's how I see it. Serendipity come into effect. So what can you control? Well, you can control your ambitions, can't you? You can focus on investing in you. Heal, always investing to be better. But if you've got any projects, it's like, achieve them. If you're creative, be creative. If there's a skill you want to learn it. It's like effectively just invest in you while you wait the next phase of your life to unlock. So like for me, okay, I'm transparent about it. I don't have love in my life. I have very few people that I consider like my core group, and there's very specific family members. Like I've whittled most of them down. Like this is like literally two or three. It's like, this is ridiculous now. Like my group's got small as shit, and I don't live anywhere near them. I'm the one that's isolated because I live far away from everybody. So I have to just find a way to get on with life. So that's going to be, I can improve my finances by sort of like looking at other employment. So I'm looking at that side of my life. Get back in, and then maybe by extension, you get into a community. Maybe you start meeting people. You just start chatting. Even in workplaces, it can be nice just to chat. It's nice to have that. When you're isolated, it gets really lonely. And I miss that. I miss that social aspect of it all. Obviously, there's positive and negatives to that too. So there's. It's like, but don't. I won't ever be anything I'm not. But the main thing for me is, okay, I've done 6 books at this point, but I've already got, like, I keep talking about, like, I've got 3 or 4 manuscripts need editing, and it's really important I stop putting them back. So, like, personally with me, like I say, I can't control the other side of my life, but I can control that side. So I'll just, while I have this alone time, I may as well be productive in that sense. So let's get the books done. They are delayed because I've been not happy, and in all honesty, it hasn't been a priority for me. Now, I understand some people, if maybe they had the abilities I have, because I've seen it myself where someone has a skill and I'm thinking, oh, if I had that skill, I'd be doing this. I wouldn't be wasting it. It's easier said than done when you're in the situation. Um, like for instance, I've done 6 books and I haven't seen I haven't seen the success from them. So it's less urgent now than it was the first book, if you like. It doesn't mean I'm never doing them. It's just that there's less urgency because 6 will exist. You know, they're obviously once they're released, I'll be like proud as hell of them. But I'd never say one better than the other. You know, I think they're all great. I love my books. So yeah, this one will get done. It's just delayed because there's no way now. I said February, March. How could it be February? Like the middle of February, nearly. You know, it is delayed. I don't know. I'm not putting dates on it anymore. I'm not putting dates. It'll be end of March, April at the earliest. But even then, I'm not saying anything. And we'll see. Maybe one book comes out this year. Maybe two. It definitely won't be 3 at this point. I'm not putting that much pressure on myself. So I already have the next one lined up. The next one's lined up for next year as well. So in terms of being busy in ambition, I'm already set. I've got enough to do. And every book creates an audio book. And I'm still finishing up the audio book for the book released last September, August, September. Because it's winter come, you know. Sometimes we have to take time for ourselves. And when we're healing, we do have relapses. We do have moments where we stop. And I don't care about that anymore. Like if I have to stop, I stop. You know, it's so important we don't burn ourselves out. But like I say, you know, I'm ticking the boxes of ambition. I haven't the box of finance you can't always control. I can't say how successful things will get, but that'll be a tick one day, hopefully. But again, I'm ticking all those, and then one day maybe you meet someone, or maybe you meet a group of people, like a community, and life improves. You know, I always feel that anything can happen any minute of any day. You just don't know when. But I think you can always be working on yourself, and I think focus on growth. I think that's just really important. Because there is that of you're no good to someone if you're no good to yourself. So there is that side of things. Like I'll show my vulnerabilities, my struggles, but I think it'd be very naive if anyone considers any of that a weakness. It takes strength to be vulnerable, and if anyone sees me after the fact, you'll see how strong and resilient I am. Because I can get stuck in my head just like everybody else, but I don't stay there long. I'm too resilient. I won't allow anything to hold me captive or hostage to a circumstance or an idea. So I'll stay. I'll cope with it, and then like I say, I'll cope with it, and I'll really suffer with the loneliness. I really will, and it'll drop me to my knees, and it could do for a whole day, even 2 days. It can really bother me and stay in my psyche. But then I shrug it off and think, look, I can't control that side. I cannot. You can keep yourself there and feel sorry for yourself for ages, and so everybody will have different times of duration of how long they suffer. But inevitably, you've just got to look at your life and recognize when it comes to things like that, you can't control it. When it comes to matters of the heart, when it comes to feelings, when it comes to connections, you just can't control that. You can't force it. You can't say, I want people come. Is that how the world works? So all you can do is focus really in feeling sorry for ourselves and stay there. Or you say, look, I can't control that area of my life, but I can control other aspects and I can grow and I can heal. And it's like focus on that. So like be creative, follow a passion, learn new skills. Even if it's something as simple as like colouring in a colouring book, what it does, it eases your state of mind and brings you peace. That's what you need to find, things that'll actually make you comfortable. So you can cope with loss a little bit better, I think. But yeah, that's so where I'm up to at the moment is in my own personal life. I'm just focusing on me at the moment. Um, Less pressure from the outside. Like for instance, my daughter wanted to call me on my birthday. She wanted to talk. Every other year of my life, every other day of my life, I've always prioritized her. I've always like, you know what? I don't want to let her down. In this instance, I just said, look, I just thought in my mind that this is my birthday, and sometimes people are going to get upset, and you just have to let them because I weren't in the frame of mind to be talking to people. Now I could talk to her through anything, but she's in a good place in her life. Like she's got a boyfriend, she's enjoying that side, she's excited about it all. I don't want to bring her mood down. Normally, like we have a good laugh, we joke. I was really depressed on my birthday. Like I was down, so I just messaged her and said, "Oh, I'm just having a bath, and I wouldn't be much fun today." And I left it there. I didn't want to say too much. Didn't want to explain anything too much. But you know, I've turned 42 years old. I'm looking at my life. I'm like, I'm proud of my accomplishments, of course. But you know, my finances are terrible. I don't have the love in my life. I don't have the community that I would hope to have one day. When I look at life, I'm just not happy, and it's like, this isn't something to be celebrating. I'm not celebrating this. Look, some people say it's morbid and things. It's like, I've never been a birthday person anyway. There's probably traumatic reasons as to why. Maybe you think people won't celebrate it. I don't really know the deeper reasons. In all honesty, I don't give a shit. I don't care. You could have a therapist try and discover it for you. I don't need it discovered. It's fine. I think some people, they just feel like everything needs to be, there needs to be an answer to it. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. I don't care. Just leave me alone on my birthday. um, yeah, maybe when life gets better and I have all the boxes ticked, I'll be like more excited about my birthday. When I look at how much I've achieved in 43 years, I've been through a world. 42 years. I've been through a lot, like most people have. But I've been through family court. I've had false allegations placed against me. I've had to contest that through the family court at the same time. I've done 6 books, done my audio books, different career changes. I've done plenty of jobs. I've had to support someone through a mental health crisis. I've ended up having my own mental health crisis through the separation and the family court. Had to deal with like an eviction, so potential homelessness. We had to stay somewhere for like 9 months. It wasn't comfortable. Um, an almost abortion of my daughter against my will, but I had to support him with it. That was like a freaking that head mess that is. I haven't seen my natural father since the age of about 3, so there's abandonment issues, I guess, with that, which made me want to be a father. In fact, it actually made me want to be a better person than them. I think I've achieved that goal. There's many aspects that I'm proud of, the things I've overcome. But like I said, there's a lot missing too. And I think at 42 years old, you kind of want things to come together sooner rather than later. I don't want to be 60 years old thinking, oh, look at all my books. And that's it. Like, come on, I wanted a life. I don't want to freaking just be here to document shit. I want to be happy. Yeah, but sometimes we don't get everything everybody gets as well. So we've got to just be accepting of whatever the path is, it is, But yeah, I'm 42 years old on my birthday, and I was just like, I'm not happy. I wasn't happy the day before my birthday. I certainly weren't going to be happy on it. It was just emphasizing it, just like shining a spotlight. And like I say, I just want my daughter to be happy. Uh, you know, like if you're not happy at a given moment, I don't want others to suffer. So like, I still send her pocket money as regularly as I can. I recognise she needs it to go cinema, to enjoy herself, go out for the weekend and with her friends and with her new boyfriend and things. I want her to have those experiences. I don't want her to sit and worry about her dad. It's like, just get on. She knows I'm strong. I'll fine. Just let me let me work my way through it. And that's how I am at the moment. I'll always message her when I can, when she wants to talk and things. But at the moment, I'm trying to heal as well. And I think it's important that we allow ourselves time for that too. But yeah, once I start focusing heavily on my books, I won't have time to dwell on any loneliness, because I just won't. You can't, it's just impossible. Even if someone wanted to talk to me, I wouldn't have the time to communicate because I've got a project to finish. And once I start that, it'll probably be 2 months of graft. And by extension, we've got the audio books as well. So once I'm doing that, that will really take up a portion of life, like an important portion, because then it's accomplished after. I was pulling away from video games, and I talk about that a lot. I always say don't stigmatize it, because in certain periods it's healing, it's great, but we shouldn't keep ourselves there for extended periods, because you can lose sense of life and reality and achieve nothing, and then we push people away. So there's that balance. But I think when you're lonely, it's finding things that will help you get through the day. I think that's really important. People could tell you, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. It's like, yeah, but you're not the one struggling through it. And it's like, just leave people alone and let them heal their own way, With me, video games, in those instances, video games are great for me because it stops me over. I'm an overthinker, so I'll naturally think the shit out of everything until it drives me nuts, because I put the pieces together and then I start seeing things clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. And then I start getting really annoyed by the humanity as a whole. So it's a rabbit hole. So when I play video games, it allows me to just switch my mind off, and I get to transfer into a world or a universe or an experience that is nothing like what I'm going through now. I switch, it just goes completely. It's like I'm just in the zone. I'm just chilling out, not hurting anybody. I'm relaxed. And that really is important for the journey to heal, and it allows you then, when you come away from it, to just have to be a bit more reflective on where you are, and life doesn't have to be so heavy. So I guess the intensity depends on how intense we are, I guess, and how high expectations we have of self. Some people don't have much of an expectation, so maybe it doesn't affect them so much. Others of us, we want the perfect life, and of course, the older we get, the more worrying, alarming it gets. The alarm bells go. But I build towards my success, my future success. Um, Hopefully, give my daughter a better life in the future, and hopefully, it aligns me with a better life. Because I say this a lot. Let's say I'm not saying this is specifically, but let's say the person you're destined to be with is a higher caliber person, someone who's got their shit together, pretty much. They believe in themselves. They have a level of confidence. They have a level of success in their life. Well, it stands to reason for you, if that is what you're aligned with, for instance, it would stand to reason that you need to also do that for yourself. So maybe some of us are alone because the person we're meant to be with is a higher standard of person. I don't like saying words like that, but it's true to an extent, though, isn't it? It's like you can tiptoe around it all day long and say everybody's the same. Well, they're not. Some people are lazy. Some people just can just focus on substance abuse their whole life. It's low vibrational. I'm not saying there ain't reasons for why they're doing it, but they are like that. That sort of person, someone who is very low vibrational, would struggle with a high vibrational life. It would destroy them. You wouldn't feel worthy. You wouldn't fit in. It wouldn't feel comfortable. So we could tiptoe around a dialogue and say, everybody's the same. It's like, yeah, but everybody's at different stages, though. And it's up to you to uplift your life, and then you can align with better. Yeah. So the thing is, like, for instance, if I'm healed and I'm the best version of myself, and then I come into wealth, the wealth doesn't control me. I control it. So I then use it towards elevating my life and having a good life, rather than go on a shopping spree, indulgences, and burn through it as fast as you can, which is what other people will do. And of course, if they know you've got it, they're going to want it from you for that purpose as well. And you're not even doing that. And that's my argument. Why would I give you money to do that when I don't even do that? Yeah, I haven't even got that opportunity yet. But the point is, you build towards things, don't we? So yeah, loneliness. Loneliness, I think, is the hardest thing to cope with, because all the other things, a lot of the other things we can control. I think that's probably what it is as well. Like I say, the ambition side, the books, I can do these books, I can get them done. If I work like a mule, I can have 3 this year. I don't really see it happening now because I don't particularly want to be like that for me. I want myself to be more happy, less exhausted. Um, but I can control those aspects. For instance, the finances are tight, so I'm looking at warehouse roles with forklift in mind, because forklift takes the pressure off my back and things like that, and I can get a decent salary, and it'll help alleviate the present. So all of a sudden, the finances are improving slowly, and then who knows what, if anything, picks up beyond that, that elevates your life to a different level. But like I'm saying there, you can change your path and you can make decisions that can increase that side, but you can't always heal loneliness. And it's easy for people looking in who have community to judge others who don't, but some people just don't are not that fortunate. Some people get their community early on, some people have to build towards their community, and some people never find it at all. Sometimes I think it depends on where you live, depends on the environment, depends how much healing you've done, but some people's community is very low vibrational anyway. If you think of it like a pyramid, you've got high vibrational, low vibrational. It's easy to be low vibrational. Anyone can just turn to toxicity, substance abuse, um, just not being a very nice person, all these things. It's easy to be like that and fit in. So anyone can do that. I could lower myself and fit in with all those sort of peoples, and I have a load of people around me. It's very rare to be high vibrational, which is why the pyramid gets smaller and smaller, which is why it gets incredibly lonely at the top. And they say that it's lonely at the top. Sure is. Um, so sometimes you might look at people and think, well, how comes they've got all these friends? How comes they've got all these groups? Well, there may be a reason for that. There may be a reason for that. It's like it's not very selective. Um, Not here to diminish anybody's groups and life. It's up to each how they live. It's just, I think, once you start setting a higher tone to your life, it does get a lot more lonely. And so, like, that's why I say a lot in my journey, it's self-inflicted, because I'm doing the healing journey and I'm selective. So I push people away who are not part of my journey, who have different morals, different values. It just doesn't feel right anymore, because I'd rather be alone. Like I said at the beginning, I'd rather be alone than with the wrong people. You could feel lonely in a crowd. That's the thing. That, and for me, that lonely in a crowd is way worse than lonely on your own. It can be mind numbing on your own, but you can get through the day. Like, I can read a book, I can watch telly, I can play video games. You can always find a distraction, but there's a peace within the distraction, even though it is mind numbing. But if you was around people who don't fit in with your values and you're just stuck with them all the time, you don't have any freedom in your life. So it's even worse than having your mind to yourself. You don't even have time for your mind at all. You've just got these people nagging and ridiculing and causing trouble, and you just feel low. That for me is way worse, way worse. So people often make light and jokes of people that are lonely, and it's like there's still levels worse than that. There's still levels worse than that. And the way I see it is when you're lonely and you're at that precipice, it's like this independence. The way I see it is, it's like you've reset your life. To be alone, you've reset. You've removed people and things and places that don't align with you anymore. You've allowed yourself a place to be rebuild from, and I think that's a beautiful place to be. Demoralizing, not easy, but you've allowed yourself a place to rebuild your life, and I think that should be applauded. So I think that's the beauty of it. Again, the other people who maybe are in parts of groups that they don't feel comfortable in, or they have to maybe reduce who they are to fit in, so they don't even know who that. Some people don't even know who they are. They actually have to go through the whole phase of finding the courage to be themselves, set boundaries with people, which isn't always easy with people that don't like having boundaries set against them. So they can keep pushing against you and cause friction, cause problems, spread gossip, lies, because they could maybe narcissistic. So you have to get rid of all those people before you even have the ability to be alone. So at least those that are alone and are allowed to sell a platform to begin from fresh, at least that's all sorted. It's all new. So it's like set the bar high. Don't set it low just out of because you're frustrated or because some people do that. Maybe you have big dreams and you have goals. You go, right, I'm gonna have high standards for myself. Then it gets too lonely, so you just start letting toxic people back in again. It's like that's no good. That's no good. You gotta just be strong and believe in yourself. So yeah, I think that's where loneliness is the hardest thing because it's easy to succumb to peer pressure and fall back into toxic traits or past habits, or let past people back in, and that's why people struggle with it because they just can't cope. It's too hard. So when you see someone coping through it, I mean, just realize how strong they are because it takes an immense amount of strength to be yourself and I think traverse this world alone until you are comfortable with a crowd of people or any person. Um, that has similar values. Mm. So I walk alone, facing the world. But in this present time, I wouldn't have it any other way until I meet my crowd, until I meet my community. Whoever they are, or even just one special human. Um, I will fight this world against. On my own. I will do it. Um, I don't need a group of people behind me to make me feel strong, and that's the thing. So yeah, I'll have days when I feel really low, but then I'll have days when I feel really confident, and it's like that's what it is. But I'll always, even in my lowest, even in my lowest, I consider myself formidable because I can flip a switch. Just because I'm vulnerable doesn't mean I'm weak. That's the thing. So I could be having like because I said there's so many facets to our lives. So someone could come at me thinking, "Oh, he's vulnerable at the moment," and then it's like, "Yeah, but that's not the side I'm attacking from. Isn't the alone side? Is it? It's now my intelligence is kicking in, and now all my wisdom and stuff. So like, what is the attack coming from? Is it attack on my character? It's got nothing to do with me being alone. So I can argue with that. Is it about politics? Is it about life? Is it about freedoms? Is it a spirituality and religion and all those sort of things? Is it those? Because that's got nothing to do with me being alone. I can argue it all day long with this. So people people sometimes perceive you a weakness and they think they could exploit something. It's like you can't because there's only one aspect. um if someone ridicules someone being alone, it's like, yeah, that just comes from partly not understanding what it's truly like to be alone, because if you did, you wouldn't really want to treat someone like that. But also a lot of times people do that because they're weak themselves, so sometimes to put you down makes them feel strong. Why can't you be strong anyway? A strong person wouldn't have to try to destroy someone that's already vulnerable. But each to their own. And that's the thing with some people. But like I say, I'm not someone that when I'm at my lowest, I'm like down and out. It's never happens. I can't. I always rise like a phoenix. So, um, if anything, a challenge just ignites a fire in me and gets me out of that state of self pity because now I've got something else to focus my mind on. So it's like, you shouldn't have done that. Best thing you can do when I'm struggling is let me struggle, because it's like that's the my own my own mind is the thing that could destroy me, if you like. And it's like as soon as you trigger a defense mechanism in myself, all of a sudden it just like starts a fire in me, and then boom, passion. Now I'm back again. Um, so yeah. Anyway, I don't want to drag this out too much, but just realize that you could feel lonely in a room still, a crowd of people. Um, But best thing we can do is just invest in self, and then I believe that you eventually attract um, like-minded people.